Hare Krishna. My name is Akshobhya. Who is the perfect man? Who is God? Why can't we see him? We are going to answer all those questions by looking at the Bhagvadgeeta. The Bhagvadgeeta is a small part of the Mahabharata, an Indian epic written by the Rishi Vedavyasa. The Mahabharata has 18 chapters and the Bhagvad-Gita appears in the 6th one. The Bhagvad-Gita also has 18 chapters and has 700 shlokas. The most asked question about the Mahabharata is, who are the Pandavas and Kauravas? They are brothers raised under the same roof of Pandu. Who is the brother of Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra was the older one, but he was blind, thus denied the throne. Once Pandu got a hold of the throne, he married. He had two wives, Madri and Kunti. Kunti gave birth to Yudhishthira, Bhima and Arjuna, and Madri gave birth to Nakula and Sahadeva. Dhritarashtra and Gandhari had 100 children, the most important being Duryodhana and Dushasana. They both grew up together under the roof of Pandu, but as they grew up, they separated themselves into two factions, the Pandavas and the Kauravas. The Pandavas are the good guys and the Kauravas are the bad guys. The opening line of the Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita, is not the voice of Krishna nor Arjuna, but it is actually the voice of Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra is asking Sanjaya, who has telescopic vision and hearing, to tell him what is happening on the battleground of Kurukshetra. The shloka goes like this. Dhritarashtra uvacha dharmakshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsavaha mamaka pandavaschaiva kimakurvata Sanjaya. Sanjaya looks at the battleground and sees a chariot with a Hanuman flag. In that flag, it was Krishna as the charioteer and Arjuna sitting in the back. Arjuna looks at the other side of the battlefield and sees familiar faces amidst family and friends. He feels nervous. Krishna notices this and says, "What is wrong, Partha? Nervous are you? If you are, you shouldn't. You are the biggest threat to the Kauravas, you know." The warrior says, "You aren't teasing me, are you, Krishna?" "Of course I am, Partha. Did you forget about your brothers Yudhishthira and Bhima and the oh so powerful army of yours?" Arjuna replies, "Oh, stop it, will you?" Krishna says, "Get to the point." I can't fight this battle." "You have to, Partha. You can't just run away from it all." Maybe I can. I can go into exile like the rishis that I know." Krishna says, "Well, that wouldn't be going into exile. That would just be running away. Think of what your family and friends would call you. Arjuna the cowardly, the person who ran away from their friends and family because he was too afraid to fight a battle." This is the end of chapter 1, Arjuna Vishada Yoga. We are going to the second chapter, Sankhya Yoga. In this, Krishna explains to Arjuna the importance of doing your duties and how we have to do our duties and never think of the outcome. This is the most popular and important shloka of the Bhagvad Gita that almost everybody in India quotes once in a while. It goes like this. Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalahetur bhurma te sangosta karmani. This means we should only do our duties and never think of the outcome. Doing the duties is our part. The outcome is God's part. In this, Arjuna feels like he can run away, but he actually can't because this is his duty to fight this battle. And there is a recipe for that's the recipe for the perfect child. If we lament over failures and celebrate over success, you are not a perfect child. If you are neutral for failures and for celebrations, you have almost become the perfect man or child. Now we are going to the third chapter, which is Karma Yoga. In this, Arjuna wants to escape from the battlefield and go into exile. Krishna explains to Arjuna that he can't simply run away from his responsibilities and duties, and that he will not have a good afterlife. Now we are going to the fourth chapter, which is Jnana Yoga. In this, Krishna explains to Arjuna that he has 10 avatars called the Dashavatara. They go like this. The first one is a giant fish called Matsya. The second one is a giant sea turtle called Kurma. Third one is Varaha, the giant wild boar, and Narasimha, the half man, half lion. There is Vamana, the child with an umbrella. There is Parashurama, the angry young man with an axe. There is Rama, Krishna, Buddha, and at last the one who hasn't appeared yet, Kalki, the charioteer. He explains in this, when unrighteousness rises, he comes down to earth to help humans set things right. The shloka goes like this. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. Now we are going to the fifth chapter, which is Karma Sannyasa Yoga. In this, Krishna explains the difference between duties and responsibilities. Duties are compulsory, similar to a door. If you don't have a door in your house, you can't go in or out of the house. But responsibilities are like windows. You don't need to have them, but they benefit only you. In this, the war is a responsibility. He doesn't have to do it, but if he does it, it benefits him and only him in a very major way. Doing your duties and responsibilities properly will result in a better afterlife. If you don't do your duties and responsibilities properly, you will not have a good afterlife. Now we are going to our last chapter, which is Dhyana Yoga. Dhyana Yoga is all about self-discipline. The way to achieve self-discipline is renunciation of senses or keeping your senses in control. When you let your senses wander off, you can't do your duties or responsibilities properly. For example, when you have to do homework and you smell good food. When you smell that good food, your brain wanders off thinking, oh, what could it be? Is it from my house or is it from the neighbor's house? And many questions pop into your mind like that. But if you keep them in control, you will do your duties properly. That is all. Those are the 6 chapters we have covered today. Hare Krishna.